Hi everyone, this is Tasneem. In this episode, we'll be talking about caring for our neighbors. Islam puts a great emphasis on our duty towards neighbors. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said Angel Jibbreel continuously urged him to take care of his neighbors, so much so that he thought God would assign them a share in his inheritance. The Prophet said, Jibbreel kept on recommending me to treat my neighbors kindly and politely, so that I thought that God would order me to make them my heirs. The significance of caring for neighbors reached the degree that loving goodness for one's neighbor is considered a part of faith under Islamic law. The Prophet said, "By the one in whose hands my soul is, no slave of God has true faith unless he likes for his neighbor what he likes for himself." The Prophet also said, "And whoever believes in God and the last day should serve his neighbor generously." The Quran also emphasizes our duties towards neighbors in chapter 4, verse 36, when it says, "Serve God and ascribe no partner to him. Do good to your parents, to near of kin, to orphans, and to the needy, and to the neighbor who is of kin, and to the neighbor who is a stranger, and to the companion by your side." An article published by the Zakat Foundation of America describes a Muslim's duty toward their neighbor, such as helping neighbors if they ask for help, including lending them money if they ask for a loan, not blocking their view by extending your house without their permission, and not harassing or harming them in any way. In fact, the Prophet strictly warned Muslims in various ways about harming their neighbor. He said, "By God, he is not a believer. By God, he is not a believer. By God, he is not a believer." It was asked, "Who, O Messenger of God?" He said, "One whose neighbor does not feel safe from his evil." A Muslim is also expected to visit and care for his or her neighbor, especially in times of need or distress. The Messenger said, "He who spends the night satiated while knowing that his next door neighbor is hungry does not truly believe in me." Other duties towards neighbors include attending their funeral and helping out if asked to, grieving if a calamity befalls them, congratulating them if they are met with good fortune, and not being on the lookout for faults. And if, by any chance, you happen to know of any undesirable thing about your neighbor, it is not acceptable to disclose it to others or gossip about it. All of the above defines the duties of Muslims towards neighbors, regardless of their faith, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or cultural background. Also, Islam teaches Muslims to not only be good to neighbors who live in close proximity, but also to distant neighbors. Neighbors can include roommates in a college dorm, the person sitting next to you on a bus, and a colleague sharing an office at work. We ought to treat all of these people kindly and with respect. Moreover, there are several narrations of the Prophet encouraging his companions to exchange gifts with neighbors, regardless of their faith or behavior towards him. It was even reported that the Prophet had a neighbor who used to harm and insult him at every encounter. A few days passed without the Prophet getting his share of this man's abuse. Thinking there must be some reason for the man's absence, and concerned that his neighbor might have been ill or be in need of help, the Prophet paid him a visit and indeed found him sick. Man was baffled at how the Prophet met his bad treatment with such concern. Today, elderly neighbors suffer from loneliness and crave a sense of community. According to a recent study in the UK, 50% of people have experienced loneliness in the last year, with almost half of people admitting to seeing their neighbors less during the colder winter months. Several movements have taken off to address this issue. In the UK, the hashtag Hello Neighbour campaign's aim was to reach 1 million minutes before the end of 2018 to help make the community a less lonely and happier place. In Sydney, Australia, a group of 5 Muslim high school boys began mowing lawns and cleaning the yards of their elderly and disadvantaged neighbours. Several online news outlets describe this act of kindness by highlighting the fact that while most teenage boys are sleeping in or playing computer games on the weekend, these boys are mowing the gardens of elderly residents in their neighborhood free of charge. The boys were nominated in the Young Achiever category of the Daily Telegraph and News Local's Champions of the West Awards. One of the boys said, "When we go around and do the gardening for free, people are just so happy and pleased to see us. It feels good to be giving back to the community like that." It is clear that the rights of neighbors are taken seriously in Islam, and that Muslim society places great emphasis on community cohesion. For All Humans encourages you to explore these teachings, make a positive difference, and connect with those who live in your neighborhood.
If you liked what you saw, please remember to like, comment, share, and let us know what you think in the comment section below. See you all next time.